Some of you probably have no freaking clue who I am, and that's totally fine. I'm Kevin. I'm the executive producer for GCX, one of the founders of GCX, and the CEO at Rare Drop, who puts on GCX. And today we're going to answer any and all questions you may have about the event that we can answer. So there's no format on questions. We have questions on Twitter, but I'm going to answer these chats before I answer any other questions. Try to not ask the same question 7 times, and just, do the thing. Keep in mind, too, that a portion of every ticket gets donated directly to St. Jude. So for the $55 base ticket, $5 of that is going directly to St. Jude. Do you need to make an Epic Games account to attend? No, you don't. Let me tell you about how you're going to log in. And this will answer some of your other questions. We are going to have our own launcher. If you have a ticket to the event, you're going to be sent a link to download the launcher, and you will log into the launcher and it will take you into the event. If you can't do that, let's say your computer can't handle that, we are going to have a browser version where you're going to go to a website, log in the same way, and you'll be able to log in via the browser. I recommend doing the launcher if you can, but if you have to, you can use the browser and you can still have a very, very enjoyable experience. There will be packages. Those packages will be announced prior to the April 1st launch date. It's looking like 3 ticket tiers. We're just trying to make sure that we can supply what we want for all the ticket tiers. That's all. That's why we haven't announced it yet. With COVID and everything, it's a little bit different this year. So we have to make sure that dev times for things that are in engine are there, and also that anything we're doing extraneous from the physical event and sending to people, that we have the quantities that we promise. Because the last thing I want is for someone to buy a ticket and then we don't have the item that we promised them. Bought tickets for myself and my partner, but my name and email were on the ticket purchases. Will the launcher email work for the both of us? Yes. Basically, the way you'll be getting is you'll get 2 logins and you'll be able to associate it that way, because it's going to go by the email and the ticket number. So the ticket number itself is going to be the important number, less the email. The email is just going to be the identifier on the ticket number. Is there any need for volunteers? Yes, we will have needs for volunteers. Those volunteers will basically be modding this year. We have a large team, and I'm working with our lead mod from previous years to see what kind of quantities we would need. So we haven't put the ask out for that yet. If we have enough people, then we won't say anything, but there's a chance that volunteers will be asked. We're probably going to dip first into the pool of volunteers that we have, because we know those people, we trust them, we've worked with them for years, which I can talk to you about modding, because I feel like that's important, and a few people have asked on Twitter. There is full modding suite. So we'll have a team that has different tools than you will see, and they will be able to bounce people out of that space like that if we need to. The big thing on your side is that you'll be able to mute anyone in the space that you choose. So if someone is being an ass, you can mute them right there and then. You can then also report them. The log will go to the mods. The mods will then make decisions based on the reports. People can be permabanned from the event. People can also be timed out from the event. So depending on the degree of assholery, we will act accordingly, and our mod team will act accordingly. Is there going to be a cap on the number of tickets? Yes. We're nowhere near that cap. We have about currently 3,000 people that will be attending as of this moment. The rest of the tickets go on sale April 1st, and then we'll have a better idea of how many people will be attending. There is a cap, but we're nowhere near that yet. Will there be content creator passes like previous years? Absolutely. Before April 1st, we will put out the criteria for content creator passes, and on April 1st, we will release the signups for the content creator passes. Your content creators are going to do what they always do. We're going to encourage them to do meet and greets on the floor. So avatar meets avatar, and we'll be able to schedule those with them. We're working on some tools to do things for scheduling this year that we're testing in this environment, so we can implement them in 2022 as well, to help mitigate lines and whatnot. But the big thing is those aren't ready yet. So once they're ready, we'll announce them. There will be tons of opportunities to buy tons of stuff, merchandise, whatever you want. If you're talking about GCX specific merch, the merch will be launching very, very soon. We will have a store full of designs. If you're talking about in-engine, e-commerce is 100% possible. We're gonna have an entire artist alley made up of artists we've been working with for the past few years, some new ones. You'll be able to walk through the alley, click on a print, and have it sent straight to your house right there and then. The artists will receive the money. We're not taking any money from that. We want to support that community as much as we possibly can. So you will literally have an art gallery that you can walk through and hang out with people and talk about the art you see. And if you like something, click, buy, send to your house, done. Will e-commerce support crypto? We want it to, but it all depends on the partners that we're working with in-engine, Roadhouse. That's the big thing. Is we have financial institutions that we have to report to that are associated with this engine. There are some third-party APIs that we can hook into and bring in some other stuff, but for the most part, we are at the mercy of what exists already. Can we donate in engine as well? Not in engine, but large donations will trigger things in the environment. That is all I'm gonna say on that, because I'm gonna leave that to Ben's upcoming announcement about all things charity for this year. I don't want to steal his thunder, but know that your donations this year over a certain threshold will influence the environment that people are hanging out in. Can I challenge my peers on the floor to duels? Much like regular GCX, there are no weapons allowed. Customization of your avatar will exist. There will be a customization suite that is basic and available to everyone. There will be items that some of the premier ticket holders get, and then there will be some other items that you can buy if you want from our third parties. Just know that the revenue from that goes to pay the developers for doing this, and the rest of it goes to St. Jude. We are not benefiting anything from the custom items you buy in the engine. We do want to come up with some activities for folks to have a little bit of friendly competition in the space. We're still working with the developer on what is possible. But there will be interactive activities that you can do outside of everything else that we have planned. We just don't know exactly what those are. We're going to be releasing videos of the space so you can see it beforehand as we build it. So as we build items, you'll be able to see them and we'll tell you a little bit about them. This will not be the last kind of reveal stream. We'll probably do 2 more before the event. Will there be a roast this year? There will be no extra activity. Here's why. We can't deliver an 18+ show like we would normally want to this year the way we want to. And we are very adamant about making sure that what we've done in the past is always better the next year. And of course, this solution is completely because of COVID, and we just couldn't sit still and had to do something insane. So we decided to do this. But for the 18+, that'll return in 2022. We're already brainstorming what that looks like. But for this year, it just doesn't make sense in the environment. Here's the good news, is that the show floor is open for a certain amount of hours every day. That means every vendor has to be there. Every partner has to be there. That's when the panels will take place. That's when all the action will happen. But the space is open 24/7 for the entirety of the 3 days or 4 days. Right now, I'm not going to give exact times, but it'll open at a certain time on the 17th and close on the 20th. So if you're there at 10 o'clock and you want to hang out with your friends in the space and drink a beer at your desk and do whatever, cool. We are planning some evening activities that will run till about midnight. There's a chance we can get some overnight ones, but those will be kind of an after hours thing that you can do. So if you have a Premier Pass from 2020, the 2020 event, essentially, you still get that in 2022. We're not changing anything for your tickets. The same structure of tickets will exist. I'll say this, the prices on the tickets will change, so you're saving money in that sense, and you get this event. That's what we're doing. Nothing changes for your 2022. Premier is still Premier, Basic is still Basic. You get what you paid for, and you will save money. Will I be able to access the space station via my PS4, or is this PC only? There is no PS4 app, there is no Xbox app, no Switch app. If the browser on your console can log in through browser support, go for it. I have a feeling the Xbox One will. We don't have a stable enough build to test that yet, but closer to the event, I plan on testing it to see if it can work. You will have your standard vendors. I talked about Art Sally earlier, Caring Bear, so you can go back and listen to that. This will be on YouTube and whatnot too. But your standard vendors that you'd see at any event. So we have partners coming in from game studios. We have partners coming in from the gaming world that are ancillary to that. We have partners coming in that have nothing to do with gaming but fit well at the event. And we have, like I said, artists and whatnot. We're working on interactive activities within the space that you can participate in. Your regular panels, you'll be able to hang out and do that. One thing that we're working on developing right now with the team is group chat. So I suggested doing something like you're in an MMO where you can add people to your group, and the only thing you'll hear is the people in that group. So if you wanted to just go into an area and maybe watch the stream, but it was technically on mute, you could do that with your 5 friends and just sit and talk and do your thing. Will it be possible to demo games in engine? No, but our engine allows people to sign up for things and go to other places to do things. So you might click on something and it might take you elsewhere to try out that game. We're gonna do everything we can to keep you in engine for obvious reasons, but for our partners' sake, we are giving them the ability to send you somewhere else to do something else. What makes this more than just a hangout with friends that will make it worth the price tag for those who might not already have a ticket or grandfathered in? Not everyone is going to be into this idea. We realize that. We're not trying to please everyone. We're trying to make as many people happy as we can. But not everyone is going to want to log in. And for you, there'll be plenty of free content on Twitch and Facebook to consume over the course of time. But there are people that want that interaction. And since that's the best we can really do right now, that's what we're going to do. And you always have the people that are like, why don't you just hold the physical event? Well, aside from the obvious, none of the partners that we've worked with in the past would have wanted to show up. So it would have been a bunch of you standing with me in a room, and we'd probably have masks on. And we didn't think that was kind of up to par. So we decided to go this route. And Pants, that's one of the opportunities this year, is to give people a chance to get that taste of GCX that they've never been able to. Whether it's because of financial or distance, whatever it may be, we want you to be included. If we stream it, will there be any DMCA with music? That is between you and the platform you are streaming on. That is not a GCX thing. I can't answer that. That's up to wherever you're producing that content. Why are ticket holders from last year given access to the event and next year, but ticket purchasers for this year only get access to this event for the same price? Because this year, well, let me rewind. They've supported us now for 2 years. And they deserve that recognition. For this year, we are building an entire space from scratch in Unreal Engine. Believe it or not, that costs money. So you are helping fund this year's event. And then when you purchase your ticket, we will be doing the same thing, and you'll be helping us fund next year's event. Mouse and keyboard and controller. This has no controller support, so it's mouse and keyboard all the way. Anyway, there can be some sort of virtual cosplay concert. I love this idea, but we can't make it happen. Every single item we put into the cosmetic pool, A, has to be shared at some level, and B, it costs us money for each and every item we put in there. So to make a set for one person, they would have to fund that themselves, because we just do not have the cash flow this year to make individual cosplay sets for people attending. When will the addresses be pulled from Night Out? You'll hear from us soon. Don't worry on that pack. You won't be losing. You won't be needing anything for the event. Also, some of the stuff that's going to come at your way is going to be virtual, so you'll get it in time for the event, and you'll also get some items that hopefully you can use outside of the event. Co-stream is possible for streamers attending. We encourage everyone to co-stream. The only thing we ask is that you say if people want to experience it, they can join you. One of the things I didn't mention, in addition to all the booths and stuff, and I said evening activities, we are planning on some musical guests joining us this year. I don't know how many. I'm still working out details, but you'll be able to basically have a virtual concert in Engine with all your friends and hang out with them. So that is one thing we are adding that we haven't really done for a few years now. Do you think this will be an event we have once a year in addition to the physical event? And that's a complex question. I would say no, simply because of the cost. What we would like to do is incorporate some sort of technology from this into GCX proper, so folks can join us remote. We don't know what that looks like yet. We don't know how expensive that will be. So the answer is we want to. Can we take selfies? You can screenshot. We would love to have a photo booth solution. And I will say that is on our list of things to do, but it is not on our list of things that have been confirmed. What would happen if the system goes down? The same thing that happens if any system goes down. The same thing that happens when you can't log into Destiny when there's new content. The same thing that happens on a World of Warcraft launch. The same thing that happens when you try to get into the Division during a new DLC. Same thing. I'll answer it again because I've seen it a few times. If you have a ticket with us currently and you purchased it before the announcement, you will have access to the 2021 event and access to the 2022 event. The dates for 2022, they should be on the website. If they're not, it's June 11th and 12th. If your address has changed and you want to send that to us proactively, we're gonna send out an email asking you about your address anyway. But if you wanna be proactive, you can email info@raredrop.co with your ticketing information and your address change. Please do not just say your address and your name and expect us to know who you are. There are 3,000 people with tickets. So the more information you give us, the easier it is on us. There is no VR support for this. We would have loved to, but the developers are just not ready to support that. So we don't want to push them in that area because we feel there are other areas where the event would benefit more. So VR is not on the list of things we want to push on this year. Will Tiltify interface with your GCX avatar to unlock cosmetics? No, but there'll be plenty of other ways for you to get cosmetics. And some of the cosmetics that you can buy will be a donation, a part of the revenue to St. Jude. The other part of the revenue goes to the developers. We are not benefiting from any of the cosmetics this year, aside from you donating to St. Jude, which is benefit enough for me. What is the load limit on the engine's build instance? I can't tell you that for security purposes. Enough would be my answer. Are there going to be any ticket giveaways before the event? No, we have no plans to do ticket giveaways, but that doesn't mean we won't. We just don't have any plans right now. There will be a stress test, but just keep in mind that this has been used for other events outside of our industry. So we are not the first guinea pig. This company has done stuff with other folks. And one of those events is before ours. So I'll be hopping in there to check everything out. The way I found this was I went to one of the events in August of last year and got to experience the engine firsthand. So, we can see it. The volunteers, probably the 3,000 folks who have tickets with us now will be the ones that get to test it for a stress test. But we're gonna leave that at the mercy of the devs. There's a basic suite or basic selection of emotes that you can use. I don't think we have enough dev runway to put more emotes in. There is conversation with some of our partners that might want to put some emotes in, but I believe there's 10, 14 in right now, or 10 emotes and 4 dances. Don't quote me on that. And maybe some of our partners will put some in. We're not sure, but we'll know that answer within the next 2 weeks because that's the lead time on that. How detailed is the avatar creation tool? So it is pretty basic from a perspective of like, this is your face, but colors, clothing, all of that stuff, skin color, everything is in there to customize and change what you want. We're trying to make sure that with the space theme, we can give folks chances to be, maybe not human, but we're working on the dev side of that. Because again, everything we dev costs money for each individual thing. So if you want a hat, that costs money. If you want to be an alien, that costs money. So we don't want to spend everything on cosmetics, but we do want to make a nice, decent amount of choices for you. Man, a scavenger hunt would be a cool idea. I hope we think of that, Ben. Would it be possible to open up the code so people can model, cosplay, and Blender for their avatars? No. No, 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 no. I love the idea, but no, unfortunately, no. Swag bags go out to the current ticket holders, and there'll be a limited amount for another ticket tier. And they'll have a few items in there, and we hope to get some virtual ones too. Are swag bags shipping internationally? Yes, we will make sure you get it if you're an international customer. We are not going to discriminate there. Will the breakout sessions and such be limited to signups, or will they be open to all? I know some of the smaller sessions in 19 were standing room only before they were going to start. I'd hate to miss out because someone teleported into virtual room before me. We are only doing one set of programming this year, Flight Simmer. And if you're not on the virtual floor, you'll be able to watch on Twitch or Facebook for stuff like that. We're not doing any ancillary programming. It just doesn't make any sense, mainly because of the space that we have for stages. It's not conducive to a huge crowd, similar to GCX proper. So it's essentially why we stream that as well. So if you can't get like within the range of proximity, you can always watch it on Twitch. Will there be a ticket sale at the end of the event like there is in person where tickets are discounted? No, not this year. 2022 will be back on sale on April 1st. So you'll be able to buy both tickets. I am working with the team. Do not take this at face value, but I am working with the team to make a joint ticket possible. The problem that we currently have is getting the data from one event to the other in that sense. So just give me another week to work on that. That's part of the reason we haven't announced ticket prices, because I want to be able to offer you a joint package where you buy virtual ticket and you get 2022 ticket as well. So just give me a few more days. We're working on the logistics of that. Is there a cosmetic shirt that says, is this a ticket? No, we are over the 6-year-old jokes, so we're not gonna be using those anymore. If you didn't get the shirt in 2017 when it was funny, sorry, you missed out on the old joke. How big is our team these days? Rare Drop has grown a lot. We haven't talked much, but Rare Drop has grown a lot. We have more interest in this event than we've ever had in GCX. Take that information and do with it what you will. All right. I have never been contacted by so many potential vendors, partners, artists than we have this year, which says a lot. It says a lot about the climate. So we want to make as much of this event work for you all as possible. It'll be very unconventional, no pun intended, but and there'll be a learning curve. There's always kinks to work out, and since this is the first of its kind for the most part, there'll always be kinks to work out. So your feedback is greatly welcome. Things you're interested in or want answers to questions, I'm all about us being as transparent as possible this year without giving away the farm. I feel like we're pretty transparent for an event anyway, but yeah. A virtual autograph book, that's a possibility. I don't see why not. Will there be any kind of achievements? No, because the problem with achievements is we don't know where they go. There'll be some Easter eggs in the space and things to explore outside of that, but nothing permanent in that sense. And sending you like physical achievements gets a little expensive. When will the list of partners participating in the event be available? The final list will be available in early June. Most events, it's about 2 weeks out from the event proper. So we're about 3 months out. So there's really not a lot to tell you yet. We'll be making periodic announcements as our partners want us to. All right. Well, if there's no more questions, we will run out of here. If you missed this, it will go up on YouTube. There will be a FAQ on the website in the next week or so. And we'll probably do like a sheet that just answered some of the more popular questions that we'll post up on socials next week, just to make sure that everyone gets the information however they want to digest it. I'm just looking back and forth to make sure I got all the questions. A lot of the questions some of you were asking last minute were answered earlier. So if you want to rewind this and take a look, you can. It's all in there. But aside from that, I don't see anything else. So yeah. Paul, roll that beautiful bean footage, and I am going to go home and say hello to my children, who I have not seen since early this morning. You all have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you all in space.